make sure my hair doesn't look messy for this YouTube video, and then I'm seeing my delt gains. Sorry, y'all. So first question, how do you reduce sugar cravings? So I know for me, I get a lot of cravings if I know it's different for everybody, but personally I noticed it because I cut out artificial sweeteners 2 weeks before my first competition of the season, this past season. And then I also just like continuously cut them out through the rest of my next 2 shows. And I noticed that my calories were lower because I was like on peak week and stuff like that, but I was far less hungry and I had far less cravings. So I looked it up, I mean like Google, whatever, but regardless, artificial sweeteners aren't gonna like hurt your progress or anything based on that, like science behind artificial sweeteners. It's not gonna like affect your body composition or anything like that. Like I use artificial sweeteners all the time. I love my Monster. I love my flavored sparkling water. I love my Walden Farms. So regardless, artificial sweeteners not gonna mess up your progress, but I did notice that they made me far more hungry. And then I do notice that a lot of people who try to eat less sugar, sugary foods and things like that, they crave them less. I also noticed that like when I'm like lower on my calories and I eat more vegetables, I crave things less often. I know that doesn't work for some people as well, so if you're craving sugar and you can fit it into your macros and be okay with that as well, go ahead and do that. So it all depends on like your individual preference, I suppose. When you reverse diet, how many calories or macros should you increase and how often? Okay, so a lot of people are like super apprehensive just to try something and see if it works, but I mean like everybody's different. Of course it depends on how aggressive you want to be with your reverse diet or your cut, but if you are focusing on not gaining too much fat too quickly, I would kind of recommend to stay within like 5 to 10 to 15 grams of carbs per increase, and or like it doesn't have to be both, and or 2 to 5 grams of fat per increase as well. So like fat is going to be a little bit less because it's 9 calories per gram and carbs are 4 calories per gram. And then I would go ahead and obviously like if you have a coach, it's helpful because they can assess when you need an increase or when you need a decrease in a cut and things like that. But if you're doing it yourself, really just pay attention to your body, to your pictures, to your clothing fit and things like that, and then you can assess how often you need to cut or increase calories for a cut or reverse. I usually tend to stay, like sometimes my coach, I still have my coach for my reverse diet, sometimes he'll increase every 4th day or something like that, and then sometimes I won't get an increase for like a week and a half if I'm like still kind of not feeling like my body adjusted to the last increase. So you'll kind of feel that your body is ready for another increase if you're focusing on doing this yourself. Like you'll notice if you don't feel comfortable with adding yet because your body is still adjusting to the new calorie amount. What is your training split like? How many exercises per major muscle group do you do? I always try to do at least like 6 to 8 exercises per muscle group. I usually superset essentially everything. I like keeping things moving. I don't really like resting too long in between like one set of something. But if I'm doing squats or deadlifts, I haven't bench pressed because I have like a shoulder issue. I'll talk to you guys about that another time. But if I'm doing something like that that requires longer rest periods, I will do that, but normally I'll superset everything. My training split, I do 2 leg days. One is glute hamstring focused, one is glute quad focused, but mostly they're all glute focused, and then I'll do random exercises in between to like isolate my hamstrings and isolate my quads. Not too much isolating quads. And then I'll also do 2 back days. One of them is mid-lower focused and one of them is mid-upper focused and like rear delt stuff, because again I have this shoulder sort of injury. It's not like a tear or anything bad, but I'm just backing off a little bit of like direct shoulder training, direct bicep training, and chest training, because I'll talk to you guys about that later. I'll get to the questions. And then I do like an accessory day. I'll do abs 3 or 4 times a week. And I'll have a rest day also. So I try to just do everything like every 3 days or so. How do you stay motivated when you have a bad day and when your schedule is busy? This is a question I tend to get like a lot. How do you stay motivated? For me, I don't have to stay motivated at this point anymore because I am motivated by not being where I want to be yet. Like that in my head motivates me because I've spent so much time being consistent and seeing progress. So I know that when I am consistent, I will continuously see progress, and I'm not where I want to be yet. So that's what internally motivates me. And you just have to find what internally motivates you the most. So sometimes, like if I am feeling kind of down, I like to look back at progress pictures and see how far I have come personally. I tend to like look into myself more for motivation as opposed to going to find it from a fitness Instagram or something like that. You have to kind of like be motivating yourself. You have to find that internal drive and the passion that pushes you, because nobody is gonna motivate you more than yourself. You can look at as many pictures of other people as you want, and people can tell you as much as you want them to motivational quotes and things like that, but nothing is gonna motivate you more than yourself and like your internal passion to just be better than you are at this particular point in time. How much cardio is good when trying to lose fat? Cardio is all relative to each person, so there's no particular set amount of cardio that is good when trying to lose fat, but the whole point of cardio is to supplement your weight training and your current diet or your cutting macros or anything like that in order to increase your calorie burn, in order to put you further in a deficit. And the whole point is to, when you're cutting, is to do as little cardio as possible while still having it help you aid in fat loss. So I try to start off my cut with as little cardio as possible, and then if I need to cut calories or if I need to add in cardio, I will. And it's just a supplement to everything that I'm doing to continuously keep burning fat, if that makes sense. So it's different for everybody depending on what your starting point is at. You'll need to do less or more depending on your body and your metabolism and your starting point. How many grams of protein do you eat per day? I recommend eating 1 to 1.2 or so grams of protein per pound of body mass, so that's what I do. Recipes to make bro meals taste better and condiments you can add that don't F up your macros. I am the freaking queen of this. Hold on one second. All of the seasonings. So, Flavor God pizza seasoning, and they also have chocolate donut seasoning. The Flavor God is super expensive, but it's really good. These seasonings, they're kernel seasons. They have like kettle corn, nacho cheddar. I toss these on literally everything, all of my vegetables. Butter spray is really good when you're cooking and you want to make your food taste more buttery. Reduced sugar ketchup on everything also. It's 1 carb per tablespoon instead of a regular ketchup is 5. I love that. I put this on all of my salads also, just regular store brand honey mustard. 1 carb per tablespoon, per teaspoon. Woo! And then if you go on, I've put these in my vlogs before, but the Simple Girl style salad dressings, and then I have like barbecue sauce. The barbecue is 1 carb and the salad dressing is nothing. They're like all natural ingredients and they're really, really low in carbs and calories, as are all of these, so these are like saviors during prep. And I just dropped them. Okay, be right back. What is your favorite treat meal and food? I like ice cream. I don't know if you guys saw my last vlog about going to After's Ice Cream in Fountain Valley, California. They have donut ice cream sandwiches, and it's not just like you're putting ice cream in a donut. They have this machine where it's like a panini machine where they'll put the ice cream and the topping of your choice in the donut, the glazed donut, and they'll press it down and heat up the donut. It's probably like the #1 thing I could ever want. Like all sweets, ice cream, donuts. I'm not like a huge pizza person, surprisingly. If I'm gonna go with a savory treat meal or whatever, it's gonna be burger and fries. Sweet potato fries are like. For those that are leaning down on if it fits your macros, how do you recommend refeeds? According to you, what is the best way to implement them? I do my refeeds every 3 days after 3 low carb days. Everybody's different. I'm not sure. a million ways to do refeeds. It all depends on you and what works best for you. Like I know some people do like 5 low carb days and a huge refeed, and some people do 2 low carb days and have to refeed every 3 days to like keep their muscles full and stuff like that, depending on their metabolism. So I would recommend experimenting and seeing what works best for you and your body, and really just pay attention to how your body reacts to the size of the refeed and the frequency of the refeed. So have a couple low carb days, have a refeed, see how high it is, see how your body reacts, try different things, experiment if you have time and you're not on prep. If you are, get a coach who knows what they're doing. I'm new to If It Fits Your Macros and lifting. How do you adjust your macros? I would recommend getting my ebook for that. If you're new to If It Fits Your Macros, I have an ebook called The Everything Guide to Macro Tracking. I wrote it because when I first started doing If It Fits Your Macros, I would spend so much time researching this article. Someone's hammering. I would be researching this topic and reading this article, and then I would be going on and looking at another article for another topic, and a lot of the articles are not accurate at all. So I wanted to have a place that was like very comprehensive for people to go to be able to read, understand, and comprehend everything about If It Fits Your Macros in one spot and like easy to read. It's 45 pages, it's downloadable to your phone or to your computer. So if you go on my website for that, amandabuccifit.com, under services, it's under there. So if you're new to If It Fits Your Macros, I would definitely recommend looking into that. How do you adjust your macros in training when you are sick? When you're sick, it's different for everybody. It depends on how sick you are. I always say make sure you rest your body, because if you're going to continuously try to like push 110% while you're sick, it's not going to do you any good. You're just going to have more trouble recovering, and your workouts aren't going to be very good, and you're not going to get better any quicker. So when you're resting and taking in plenty of fluids, your body recovers faster, and then you can get back to your 110% workouts more quickly than you would if you were trying to work out while you're sick. Personally, I would probably work out a little bit when I'm sick. I would at least go to the gym and do some steady state and like get some sweat going. And I would probably try to do something light, depending on how sick I am. You can kind of have to gauge depending on what your illness is. Faith and Fit, what's your favorite body part to work and why? I love a good shoulder pump. Oh my god. Biceps, okay. I love shoulders, I love deadlifting, and I love glutes. Those 3. I need a manicure, holy shit. Okay. What was your body and training like pre-IAFYM? Do you ever just stick to clean eating? I did one show where I did like a 5-week clean eating prep, and it was really funny. I was a huge bitch. I don't know how people do that for longer than 5 weeks. It was awful. I didn't really start seeing serious changes in my body until I started tracking my macros, because when you're not consistent with your calorie intake, you're gonna see inconsistent results. So if you're eating 1,600 calories one day and then 1,500 calories another day and then eating 2,000 calories another day, you're just gonna see a bunch of fluctuations, and you're not gonna see progressive progress in one direction. You're just gonna see it all over the place, or you're gonna be maintaining. You don't know whether or not you're gaining muscle or not, things like that. So, but when I started really tracking macros was when I started seeing a huge difference. Can you do a muscle up? Probably not. I've never tried. When you're in the gym, do you focus more on form than lifting heavy? A lot of people neglect their form. They very much do. I'm super strict with my form. I know that if my form is off, I will feel it in my body immediately. I will feel it pulling and tugging on the wrong places, so I really pay attention to make sure I don't get any injuries. I really pay attention to form. But I'll also lift heavy when I have that set on my training days. So on days when you know you'll be having a cheat or carb heavy meal, do you follow normal macros or allocate carbs and fats and eat mainly protein? I always, honestly, every time I have a treat meal or a cheat meal, I've like somehow been able to like track it. I try to track it at least, and I don't have any desire to like completely just go overboard. If you guys saw my last vlog, I got the Milky Bun donuts and then I got California donuts when my friend was here. I ate lower carb and lower fat the rest of the day in order to eat those donuts, and I tried to make sure that they still fit my macros even if I was like a little bit off that day. I do that. Some people don't do that. Some people go ahead and eat normal macros, but then you just know that meal is gonna push you over the edge, and it could spill you over. One day is not gonna kill you, but if you do that more than once a week or continuously do that, it's gonna affect your progress eventually, depending on like how big of a treat or cheat meal it was, what your body is at now, and things like that. So it all depends. I wouldn't personally. You figure out macros for food you didn't make yourself, for example, a donut. If it's like a donut from a chain restaurant or something like that, a chain donut place like Dunkin' Donuts or something, they usually have them on MyFitnessPal. I always check the websites. If they don't, I'll just track like a normal glazed donut and then track whatever I estimate the toppings on it are gonna be if I'm tracking that closely. Have you ever experienced amenorrhea while on prep? If you don't know, amenorrhea means losing your period while on prep or while on a cut, and yes, I have. My last prep, I lost my period almost right away, but my period has kind of been, my menstrual cycle, sorry guys if anybody's just watching this, my cycle has been kind of like fluctuating throughout the past year as well, and even when I was eating my 2,000 calories a day at the very end of my bulk, it was kind of coming and going, so I wasn't super worried about it. My doctor said I was kind of normal for someone who's been on birth control for a couple of years, things like that, but it's 6 weeks post-show and I officially have it back, so I'm healthy. If you don't get it back after a while, after your prep is done, you should probably increase your dietary fats a little bit more, because dietary fats play a big role in the hormones that the body needs to carry out that process. So dietary fats play a huge role, especially for females. So if you're on a prep and your dietary fats are lower than like 35, 30, I would absolutely not go any lower than that. It's really not necessary. I just decided to try if it fits your macros and was wondering if you hit your macros exactly each day, and if not, how close do you try to get? I hit my macros every single day. I know a lot of people say it's hard to hit their macros, and it's confusing to me when people say I accidentally went over my macros, but that to me just means that like you didn't plan ahead. Not to be like tough love or anything, but essentially you just didn't plan ahead and make your macros a priority. I noticed that I see the best results when I'm very consistent with my macros. I definitely don't hit them like to the gram every single day, especially on the off season. I hit them within 5 during prep, like plus or minus 5. I definitely try to hit plus or minus 3, or try to hit them as close as possible every single day, but sometimes that doesn't happen with variability in like gum and things like that. But regardless, if I'm on prep, I hit them like every single day without any excuses. Fitness 21, hi, beautiful. I love her. She said, what are your competition plans for the future? Right now, my future competition plans aren't scheduled, or they're not set in stone. I really want to have a long reverse diet. I know that where I want to be when I do another show, it's going to take a long reverse diet for me to get there, because I want to be able to reverse diet slowly, stay as lean as possible while growing as much muscle as possible, because I want to start a prep at a really, really good place, and I know what I want to look like on stage, and I want to be like completely undeniable. So I'm gonna take like 8 months to like reverse. I mean, there's gonna be like, I'm gonna try to do like mini cuts in between, mini bulks, things like that. I don't have like a set plan. It's going to be a long time before I compete again, only because I want to be able to like work on myself and bring my actual best package to stage, and I like know exactly what I want to look like on stage next time, so that's my plan. Last but not least, what is your biggest advice for other bikini competitors? My biggest advice for other bikini competitors is to have as much fun as possible during your whole prep and on stage. Once you're on stage, that is like the time of your life. That is your time to shine. Don't be hard on yourself, especially if it's your first show or something like that, because you're always gonna be improving. And if you continue on with the sport and you're serious about it, your first show is gonna be your worst look to date. Like that's the end of it. Like you're going to have your best look on stage and your worst look from moving in a forward direction. So just be completely happy with your progress and what you brought. Being a competitor can seem to like get a lot of people to feel negative about themselves regardless of how good they look on stage or how much progress they made during their prep. It can be really mentally straining. So my biggest advice is to like stay as positive as humanly possible the whole entire time. Focus on just like waking up every morning and having a positive mindset and kicking ass for the whole entire day. And that'll just help you in the long run, and it's gonna keep your mindset clear and happy the whole entire time. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. You can go ahead and comment and give me any pointers or any questions you guys may have, or any suggestions for what you guys want to see more on my channel. If you're not already following me on Instagram, it's at @AmandaGucciFit. I'll put it down here. My Twitter, Snapchat, my website is going to be down here as well. I'll put it all. It's probably going to be scrolling or something. So follow all of my stuff. Come find me. Come ask me questions. Come talk to me. Things like that. I'm wearing my new leggings here. So these are J Fitness Wear leggings, and that's the booth that I'm going to be at for the Olympia. So if you guys are going to be at the Olympia, I'll be at the J Fitness Wear booth with Emily Hayden also. She has a YouTube channel. You guys should go follow her as well. So come say hi to us at the Olympia if you're there, and I'm super excited to meet everybody and be there, and it's going to be super fun, and oh my god. And I have to go to the gym now. So thank you for watching all.